Hello, I'm Rita Clementi. I know most all of you, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to extend Christmas blessings to you and your family. And I pray that each of you have a full and happy 2022. It's my privilege today to introduce and provide an overview for our December training. So I hope that you find this training to be helpful. We will be covering some required components, but we'll have some other miscellaneous items as well. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome our new team members, Ken Runge, JC Horton, and Anita Hartz. Just welcome you to the Without Walls family. We are glad that you have elected to become a partner in our team and look forward to working with you in this new year. I know that all three of you are already plugged in and serving clients and serving in other ways as well. I'd also like to mention two of our direct care workers who were nominated this year for Pennsylvania Home Care Association's Direct Care Worker of the Year, Lorena Christek and Jamie Johnson. Both of these young ladies have been with us for multiple years. Their nomination was based on feedback that we had received from their clients and their coworkers. They are exemplary employees and caregivers. We are grateful to have them as a part of our team, and we congratulate them on their nomination. Neither one of them were selected by the state of Pennsylvania as the caregiver of the year, but we know that they are important caregivers to us. So congratulations to both of them. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Pennsylvania Home Care Association's Direct Care Worker of the Year, you can visit their website under Pennsylvania Home Care Association and Google Direct Care Worker of the Year. I do have a few housekeeping items that I'd like to review. You received a packet of information, and I'll reference a few things that are in that packet of information. The first is a letter that came from Chris Wright regarding gifts and gratuities. I would just like to emphasize a few parts of that letter as we are in the midst of the Christmas season, and although many of our clients and their family members would like to recognize and thank our caregivers and team members throughout the year with gifts, it's just not a practice that St. Paul's employs, and it is certainly one that is discouraged across the healthcare continuum. So a few things I'd like to mention. Employees may not ask or suggest that a resident or client or any person acting on behalf of a resident or client should offer gifts or gratuities to a St. Paul staff member. Employees may not accept cash or currency of any kind, included but not limited to tips from any source or individual. Employee bonuses and or gifts provided by St. Paul's do not constitute gifts for gratuity. Employees may only accept non-cash gifts that do not exceed a $10 value and or are shared by the whole staff. We oftentimes have large cookie trays or a multitude of small giveaway items that come into the office, and we tend to share those with everyone. And that's the whole point, that gifts are spread amongst everyone and not just with one in particular person. In order to consider it a non-cash gift, the gift cannot be converted into currency. So those are really important points. There are 4 items listed on this letter from Chris that do identify opportunities for a client or a resident or a family member to make a gift in honor of a team member or team members. It's an appreciation gift that can be made to the entire staff of a neighborhood or a department. In our case, we can use that gift to create some sort of a celebration, such as a pizza party. A cash or a non-cash gift of appreciation to support the 12 days of Christmas, which we're currently in. These are gifts that are given during the Christmas season out to our team members, and I might say in a very creative way, through Ron Ashbaugh and Tina Cassio. A cash donation can be made to the Staff Education Fund. We are often offering staff education that we've brought in a renowned speaker or a presentation that we've had to pay out for, and funds that are given by residents, clients, and their family members can be used for an educational program like that. And lastly, a gift can be made to the Staff Appreciation Fund. We use this fund throughout the course of the year to provide a variety of staff appreciation opportunities. These are more general gifts. They're given for the good of the group, a department, or St. Paul's team members in general, but to no one person. So just know that that's very important to us. So you have that letter. I just encourage you to tuck it away. If you have a family member who's asking about gifts, then I would encourage you to give them a copy of that. We have had family members or clients who have given staff money, and I would say this: the best thing to do is simply to tell them that you can't receive that. If they give it to you and you don't know about it until you get home and you open a card, then my recommendation would be is that you seek out myself or Michelle O'Malley in the Without Walls office, and we will speak with the family just to let them know that that's not a practice that we encourage, and we'll return that gift to them. Just appreciate your honesty and integrity in this program. It's really very important as it relates to our client care. I'd also like to talk a little bit about a new program. You have a handout in your packet. It's called Engage, and it was implemented December 1 of 2021. This is a new rewards program that rewards team members for picking up extra shifts, rewards team members for anniversaries, birthdays, employee recognition, such as nominations for the Bingham Leadership Awards, and also what are now called Spot Awards. These are opportunities for residents, family members, coworkers, administrators or supervisors to recognize a team member who has done something special on behalf of their client or a coworker. So I just encourage you to spend a little bit of time. It did start December 1st. There are a number of you watching this video who have picked up shifts during the month of December or the month of January to help fill some gaps. And I encourage you to reach out to Michelle O'Malley if she hasn't already talked to you about getting credit for the shifts that you've picked up. You'll notice on the flyer that there are points awarded for 4-hour shifts given 7.5-hour shifts that are picked up, and also 11-hour shifts. If you're picking up shorter shifts, we'll work with you independently to capture credit for these shifts. And that's something that you can work with directly with Michelle O'Malley. In your packet, you also have a form that identifies what you can submit credit for to gain points, and it outlines those very things that I just mentioned about the shifts and the Spot Award, which is a special point of thanks that you give to someone else or that you've received. These forms, you fill them out, you drop them into the Without Walls mailbox, we validate them, and we send them over to HR in order for you to get credit on your account. Accounts, as they develop and accumulate points, you can turn those points into gift cards. Every 2,500 points is worth a $25 gift card. So a great program, a way in which for us to recognize and appreciate all team members who are making a difference in the workplace. So I encourage you, please take a little bit of time, read over this information. We will always have extra Engage reward forms in the hallway. It is your responsibility to pick up a form and fill it out once you have completed a shift that you picked up to fill the gap. So if someone's reported off and you picked up a shift, or if someone is off on a medical leave and you picked up a shift, or we've picked up a new client and you picked up a shift to help fill in, it's your responsibility once you've worked that shift to fill out a form, drop it in the mailbox, we will validate it, and we'll get it over to the HR department so that you can accumulate points. Most of all, I'd just like to say thank you, because this past year, so many of our team members have stepped up and filled the gap by picking up countless shifts. We've had a number of team members who, whether it was due to COVID or other medical conditions that needed time off, and so many of you stepped up to support your fellow team members, and I know that I speak on behalf of the administrative team. We're very grateful for that. So if you haven't logged on and made yourself an account for Engage so that you can see the points that you're accumulating, do so. There's directions on the sheet, and get started on the new rewards program. I just encourage you, if at any time you have questions about any of the content, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Michelle O'Malley. I would like to talk a little bit about quality management findings. We do participate in quality management meetings once a quarter. There are several of us who will sit around the table and review client files and our team members' files to make sure that they are complete, have all the appropriate pieces and parts, that they're dated, that they're signed, so that when the state comes to survey, we are in compliance. We look at incident reports, we look at missed punches, we look at visits and shifts that staff are punching in and out. We're looking at a variety of documents, training, and several others to make sure that we are in compliance. And there's just a few things I'd like to mention in response to our most recent quality management meeting. One of them is making certain that you're identifying on your aid visit notes AM or PM. So at the top where you're signing in and you put, the start time for your shift and the end time for your shift, please put 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. and out at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. Otherwise, we have to go back and fill that in. Just appreciate if you would pay attention to that detail. In addition, just encourage you, please write legibly. Most of you do. There's a few that, whether you're in a hurry or whatever it might be, please take the time, write legibly. We do read these documents, and they have to be legible for a surveyor if they come into the building. So please take the time, make sure that the writing on any document is legible. I would also say to make your information factual only. On no report or document or even in the communication book do we want you sharing a perspective or an opinion. Somebody's having a bad day or whatever it might be. Only share factual information on any document that you submit. Incident reports, we're going to be taking a little closer look at language to make sure that it's appropriate. And don't be surprised if you write an incident report and it's one that we have to report to the state, that we follow up with you to be clear on exactly what happened in that incident so that we can communicate it correctly. Please make sure that you sign the aid visit note and that you have the client sign the aid visit note. There are only a few exceptions. The community living homes, the clients who live there would be an exception to the rule. They don't have to sign every shift, but staff should be signing each shift. And lastly, on my part, in the packet, you have copies of some policies, which I'll review very briefly here. You have a list of videos that you must view through My Learning Center. There are 5 of them on My Learning Center. And you'll watch the video, you'll take the test at the end of the video, and you'll print off the certificate for that video, completing the test. If you have forgotten your login, please remember it is going to be your email address plus a password. So if you forget the password, go to My Learning Center. It's on Pennsylvania Home Care Association's under My Learning Center page. You can put in your email address and click on Forgot Password. They will generate directions for you, and you follow the prompts for changing your password. So very easy to do. If you have any trouble, you can reach out to PHA or you can reach out to the office and we'll help walk you through that. But really important that you not only view the video, that you take the competency test at the end and you print out the certificate showing that you've completed it, successfully completed it with an acceptable score. So there are 5 videos you're going to watch. These are required topics by the Department of Health that we review annually. The first one is Consumer Control and Independent Living Philosophy. These are very short videos, but important nonetheless. Along the topic of Consumer Control and Independent Living Philosophy, I did include in your packet an outline called Professionalism. It's one we've used in the past, but it does speak to habits, behaviors, actions that portray professionalism. Talks about appearance, demeanor, reliability, competency, communication, phone etiquette, poise, ethics, organization, and accountability. I encourage you, please take time to read this handout. It's invaluable and will help to promote the independent living philosophy for our clients. The second video is Confidentiality, Corporate Compliance, and Hipaa. And the video is actually called Understanding Hipaa and Confidentiality. Again, it's a short video and you'll need to take that test. The third is Fraud and Financial Abuse. And the video is actually called Preventing Fraud and Financial Abuse. You'll take a test. And that's the only requirement for that section. The next one is Assistance with Self-Administration of Medications and Specialized Care. And this is an important one. There is a short video on My Learning Center. It is called Direct Care Workers and Medication Assistance. And then I've put in your packet 2 policies. The first is our policy on assistance with self-administration of medications. And the second is called Specialized Care Policy. I'd like for you to review those and be prepared for discussion sometime in the future. Very important that you understand what we are and are not able to do as it relates to medications. So watch those, you'll get some good information, read over the policies, and then we'll have some discussion at a later date. The next video is providing care with someone with dementia or to someone with dementia. That is a short video and you'll take the test. And the last one is a video on tuberculosis. It's actually on YouTube. There is a link that you would put into YouTube, and actually the last, 15 or so digits are the most important part of that link. It does talk about tuberculosis as the world's most infectious killer. And then I have also put a handout in this particular package about tuberculosis elimination. So that's a general outline of the training. The last thing that I would like to say before I close and give you the opportunity to move on to the actual training portion is this. 2021 has been yet another very unusual year. Needless to say, still battling COVID, and the fight isn't over. So please, please, don't let your guard down. There's new variants that are out there. I know that 98% of our Without Walls team is vaccinated, and for that we're grateful. If you haven't been and you could consider it, I just encourage you to become informed about the vaccination. Don't make an emotional decision, but rather make an informed decision. The other thing I would say is we are currently on a stay for the mandate that came through from the President's office regarding the vaccinations. However, we do anticipate at some point in time, we have no idea when, but at some point in time, that mandate may be implemented once again. So keep your ears open and we'll keep you informed. But right now, vaccinations are not required, not mandated. However, we do ask that you consider. We are requiring vaccinations for staff who we hire to come on board as new employees. So, you know, the best lines of defense are going to be when you're out and about, particularly in crowded places. Consider wearing a mask. Surgical mask is probably your best line of defense. The ultimate would be an N95, but it's not necessary in the community. But wear a mask, be smart. Don't get yourself into enclosed spaces with large numbers of people. Outdoors, it's a little bit different, but still be very cautious. If you're not feeling well, don't come to work. Call me. Let me know what your symptoms are. We'll determine if you need to be tested, and I'll advise you of the steps that you need to go through to get back to work. But we do not want you coming to work sick with any symptom. So even if you think, oh, this is just a cold or it's my allergies, I want to know about it. We'll make the determination together whether or not you should get tested and what the return to work policy will be for you. Most importantly, good hand hygiene. When you're with your clients, always wear a mask, and social distance. Limiting the direct contact with them as much as possible is important, although we do provide personal care. So, you know, use your judgment. You always have opportunity to wear eye protection, especially if you're in close contact with, you know, a client that you're taking care of. Their safety is our priority, and your safety is just as important to us because we need caregivers to take care of our clients. As we wrap up this year, I'm happy to say adios 2021, believe me. And I'm looking forward to 2022, a year filled with hope and new opportunities. I am glad that you are with us, and I look forward to the journey together. God bless you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.